value to the grading system is that it helps to determine where you are in the grading system, will help to determine what the terms and what a regimen more specific to your texture versus someone else's texture, and the real value in that. Your hair texture determines how many days you get out of a wash and go, and your hair texture determines how you prep your hair for a protective style. The looser your hair texture is, 3s, 2s, the more days you get out of a wash and go style. The tighter and drier your hair texture is in the 4s, then wash and go styling can become damaging if not done every day. Not doing a wash and go frequently is like getting a jerry curl and refusing to use curl activator. But drying the hair to completion for your wash and go style at night and tying it down, could even be I know y'all love pineapples. Tying it down at night and doing your big fluff and stretch in the morning with what? Hair Rules Hydrating Finishing Cream. Taking your scarf or your hair down. I don't know if you're showering in the morning, but taking your hair in the shower with you, letting the steam, let it fall after you take it down. Don't wet it necessarily. And then take finishing cream or your favorite kind of moisturizer and add it and stretch it to your hair with your little blow dryer and condenser. Remember, stretch, stretch, stretch. And that's your style without having to wet it. Finding a regimen that's for you is more important than anything. So if you, depending upon who and what your texture is, will determine how frequently you do wash and go styling. Wash and go styling is what keeps your hair moisturized, detangled, soft, and elongated. And how frequently you do it is determined by how tight your texture is. The more frequently you should do your hair if you're a 4, the less frequently you can get away with it if you're a 3. Generally, women with a naturally drier, kinkier texture are women who have been relegated to styles that keep them away from water, and they have been chasing dry hair forever, right? So that is gone out the window when you go natural, because now you're simply incorporating your whole hair care and styling routine into your shower routine. So you can't over-condition a texture that's naturally drier. Of course, condition till the cows come home. You'd rather steam your hair than take it in the shower with you. You'd rather put a lot of stock in doing a steam treatment than actually taking your hair. What is steam? Steam is water. And steam is not going to recondition your hair. Steam is not going to detangle your hair. You need water and a bottle of quench conditioner to help you do that. Through co-washing, right? That's what co-washing is. The act of co-washing and doing wash and goes frequently helps you to avoid having to spend any more time on your hair than necessary. That's the beauty of natural hair, is that you should be able to wear your hair straight and curly. And if you don't, you don't have to, but the fact remains is if you want rapid growth and you want a healthy head of hair with a great shape, you have to trim the ends. Be it kinky, shrinkage, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1. Whatever your texture is, trimming your ends and getting a great haircut is important. How you cut it is determined by your texture, not someone else's. How do I get my hair to revert back curly? You need to cut it. Cut it, cut it, cut it. It's making sure the beauty of natural hair is that if you can figure out through this whole grading system, which is how I like to teach women, because you all have different textures and what's good for one texture has nothing to do with another texture, is where you start to learn what the regimen is more specific to your texture and how you keep that texture soft and moisturized. And so that enables you to be able to do heat styling without heat damage. Buy it all, but find out which one will leave your hair the softest. Invest in a whole bunch. Don't just buy one of many. Invest in a whole bunch and see which one leaves your hair the softest. That will help to determine. Some hair textures don't have curl definition. Some hair textures have a more dominant characteristic of fro, and frizz is a more of an asset to that texture than it is to other textures where they may deem their lack of curl definition and more frizzy as being negative. But then frizz is not bad. That's what a fro is, right? And so not all hair texture curls. So some of the fours just don't curl, they coil. A protective style can be a twist out, a braid out, anything that doesn't require you to have to wet your hair. And depending upon where you are on that texture spectrum will determine how you prep your hair before you do a kind of a protective style. Which again can be a twist out, a braid out, a weave, a wig, a blowout, a halo braid, anything that gets you 5 to 10 to 3 to 4 weeks maximum. 4C hair is not extreme, it's naturally drier. And here's the thing about braids. One, love and honor your hair, and wearing braids does not always do that. Wearing braids can assist you in loving and honoring your hair. No, you can't damage your hair through daily hood dryer use because you're co-washing, which means you're conditioning your hair, which means you're reconditioning and re-rinsing and repeating your wash and go styling daily. That cannot harm your hair, that can only benefit your hair. It can only moisturize your hair. How you decide to dry it is up to you. It's a convenience thing. You know, oftentimes women don't want to do their hair in the morning, so I say do it at night while you're, you have time to be under a dryer, or while you're on a computer and you can watch TV and do this, that, and the other. But it's about convenience. You have to go hard and fast with wash and go styling. You have to, or they don't work. Or you just don't get the results that you want to. I've often had women say, apply it like this, as I'm massaging the product through their hair. I think the product as a tool to help me achieve something, and so I need a lot of it to do that. And so you can't touch your kinky, coily hair like this and say, this is how I apply the product. No, bathe your hair. Bathe your hair in conditioner and product. Let it shake it. Soften, wet, bathe hair. A deep conditioner is obsolete if you're bathing your hair in conditioner every day through wash and go styling. And I'm not suggesting that wash and go styling is the end all to be all, but it is if you don't, or you're trying to get your best hair, wash and go styling is great. Okay, so if you're a 4, you're drying your hair out by waiting for 3 or 4 days to go by before wash and go styling. If you're not stretching your hair out after it's dried from you doing your wash and go style, that's just a choice you're making. If I wash and go style my hair or anyone else's hair, I would stretch it after it dried. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't suggest doing a press on natural hair more frequently than twice a month, like every 2 weeks, in order to not loosen your curl pattern. You do it because you can, not because you have to. You do it because you love versatility, not because you dislike your hair texture. You sit in the chair for too long, and over 4 hours for braids or a weave is way too long. Chances are, if you're sitting in there for longer than that, ain't no way you're gonna take those out in a month. Therein lies the problem. For every hour you sit in the chair, it gets you a week. 3 to 4 weeks is about as long as your strands and your scalp can sustain that amount of stress and neglect before it starts to snap back or snap off, or your scalp starts to get some type of bacteria and your skin starts to produce retarded hair or hair that just is more fragile than it should. Also, Refrain from using glycerin products and move towards creams because glycerin attracts moisture. That's great for the warm, humid season because it pulls moisture from the air, but if there's no moisture in the air, then it's pulling it from your hair. So use creams, use all of your favorite heavier oils as kind of a protector for your strands in the cold, air, dry weather. That's where fattier oils are better underneath and layered and under your styling products. But find a cream like the Hair Rules Kinky Curling Cream. If you like creams, if you like a cream of your own choosing, then use that one. But use a cream versus a gel with the humectant. And moisture, as you know, is your hair's own ability to have its own heat protectant. So, and a heat protectant or leave-in moisturizer is just simply a buffer of cream moisture that will help to make the hair submit to heat, and it prevents excessive heat from doing, so you burn off the moisture, the leave-in moisturizer, or the, moisturizer left in your hair from all your beautiful wash and goes and conditioning treatments from the night before. So that's the first defense against heat, and being able to have a blow dry and a flat iron style that is moisturized throughout the week. I like small amounts of heavier oils for 3s and 4s, the higher 3s, so the 4s, I'm so confused by this 3 4, even though I love categorizing. The 4s, drier, kinkier textures, coarser textures, if you have a curly texture that's coarser. So the oils, fattier oils like coconut oil, but small amounts. Some people's hair don't, I've heard that they don't like coconut oil. I like I love edge control as a pre buffer for your flat iron, and hairspray keeps your hair from reverting back.